What is up, good people? Welcome back to the Fuel Yourself audio cast. I am your host, Shawana Mays, your certified life and wellness coach who helps you create results with your life and wellness goals by teaching you how to finally follow through. Come on now. All right. So, listen, we have officially made it to episode 6, and today we're going to talk about your environment. It's one of the areas of your life that we get to explore on the complimentary, AKA free consultations that I offer. Now, the last two episodes, we went over time and physical health. So, if you haven't had a chance to listen to those two audio casts, I highly recommend you go back and do so you can get caught up. Okay. So, let's get into your environment. One of the reasons I include diving into your environment is because it's one of those areas of your life that you may struggle with when it comes to, like what you see as support. So let me explain. You may have heard people talk about having like a supportive environment when it comes to you reaching your goals. And yes, you should be able to have supportive environments in your life that are conducive to you creating the results that you want, especially if you haven't yet built the skill of following through no matter what. Now, I'm going to always add that at the end when I talk about following through because I feel like it's such an important add on and it leaves you no room to find excuses for yourself. Plus, it's the thought that helped me build consistency and discipline till this day. Well, it helped me, but it still helps me till this day. So you'll hear me say no matter what quite often. You'll often see me write about it in my posts too. If you are following any of my socials, you'll always see no matter what. Okay. Now, before I go any further, let me tell you, and this is a bit of a funny story because it's interesting where the mind can go when I ask about this particular area of life. Now, with any of the areas that we focus on the consultation, like time, physical health, environment, finances, weight, business, career, or your emotional health, we walk through the exercise of like rating all of these areas of your life on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest. And I do have you rate your environment also. And the people who don't rate this area as a 10, I have them share with me why it's not a 10. And some of the responses that I've gotten like were because of the weather or the seasons. Somehow their minds take them to the elements outside, which is very interesting. I don't know why that happens. So I always have to explain what I mean, which is not a problem to do so at all, though. So, yeah, I always have to bring them back from the elements outside because it's not exactly what I'm asking. And I say exactly because when it comes to wintertime, all I want to do is stay in the house and be warm. That's real talk. Don't ask me to come outside and play because the response is usually a no. And if I do say yes, that means it's something that I really feel is going to add value to my life. And I'll just grin and bear the cold for that particular moment. So here's the thing, when I'm referring to your environment, I'm referring to your home, your work, and the environments you willingly put yourself in, like the ones that add value and the ones that you know don't add value to your life and you know you don't want to be in. This is what I mean when I ask you about your environment. Does it support your goals or your results that you say that you want? Now, you may be stuck with this thought that your home environment or your work environment and those spaces you willingly put yourself in does not support your goals. It's a thought that you may carry every single day. It's like your natural default to think that because you always think that it's the external things that are helping you not create what you want. But I want to show you something different. So I'll explain a little bit more. So let's start with your home environment. Are you the one doing everything in the household, like all the cooking, the cleaning, being the question answerer, the researcher? Allowing constant interruptions when you decide to do things for yourself for once? Are you being like the end all be all, leaving no room for anyone to assist you, which leaves no room for you to create time for yourself? Check this out. The home environment is where I find most people say that they don't have the support. And most times, it's not that they don't have the support, they've just either never asked for it, and they may be even afraid to ask for it because of the negative thoughts that they have in their brain about how their family will react if they quote unquote ask for help. Most people come up with thought in their brain that they're going to experience a negative reaction from their family, and they don't want to feel the feelings that come along with that negative reaction, or they just think the job won't get done the way that they want it to get done, so they may as well continue doing all the things themselves anyway. Then they continue to be frustrated with the family for not helping, and they get more frustrated with themselves because they're unhappy they don't have time for themselves like everyone else in the house does. And here's the thing, the people in their household are just going about business as usual on the daily because they don't know you want help because you haven't asked for it yet. And they are used to you doing everything. And they just keep rolling with that because they know you as the person who just keeps doing everything. Now, I will say this. When I decided that it was time for my change, like I was at my wits' end with having 30 plus pounds of extra weight on me. I used to think those same negative thoughts that I just shared. And I would be in the same spin cycle with my thoughts, getting nowhere with my goals because of those negative thoughts. Then one day, I decided to get out of my head about how my household would respond to me. And I started creating a new way for my family to assist me in taking care of them and creating time to care for myself. Now, some elements of that were teaching my girls how to wash clothes and fold them, allowing them to wash the dishes, not allowing them to interrupt me anymore in the midst of my workouts or meal prep. Because listen, if it wasn't an emergency, do not interrupt me. Now, of course, there was some initial discomfort in all of us because we all had been used to the same old habits. But now those old habits were changing because honestly, I started to think differently about everything. I was like, why can't I have both? Why can't I take care of my family and take care of me? So my thoughts started to change and shift everything. So I figured out how to change those practiced old habits and had my household now responding in a different way, which allowed me to create time I needed to take care of me. Eventually, as things changed to support me and my goals, and they saw how I could both take care of them with their assistance, of course, because of my new thought, and I could be happy doing it and also take care of me, their behaviors adjusted to this new version of me, and the full support was eventually created. So, my point about what I just shared is even if you feel like you don't have a supportive home environment, you can learn how to create one. Now, let's talk about your work environment. It could be a place that is stressing you the heck out. But since you are good at getting the job done and it pays well, and sometimes you even stay for overtime that isn't even mandatory, so you actually leave no time for yourself. And then add to that the company parties where you may overeat and overdrink. Then there's the potlucks and the sweet treats that are constantly being gifted to the employees. And you consume all the work, you put in all the overtime that may or may not be required. And on top of that, you stress like crazy. You allow your work environment to consume your life, and you allow yourself to unconsciously have zero control over what you consume, whether it's with the food or overworking, and it's not helping you get to where you want to go. Now, here's the thing, your work environment, in and of itself, is just that, your work environment. It does what it does. And it feels like it's not supportive because of what you're choosing to allow yourself to indulge in because of the thoughts you may be thinking. And one of those thoughts could be, well, I'm going to eat all the food because it's free. When in actuality, it's not free, it's costing you something. This is just one example of how your thoughts can manipulate you into believing that your work environment is not supportive, even though you are the one choosing to overconsume. Think about how that can be true because it's a really good thing to be aware of this. When you can see it from like a different perspective and see how you are contributing to your work environment, quote unquote, not being supportive, then you can see how you can change some things in that space. Like you control that. Now, outside of your home and your work environment, you have 100% control over the environments you choose to put yourself in. You get to decide yes or no to those spaces. You willingly put yourself into environments you want to be in because those environments make you feel good. And you willingly put yourself into environments you don't want to be in out of people pleasing. So let's focus on the environments that you willingly put yourself in that you don't want to be in. Clients will tell me all the time, well, I didn't really want to go, or I didn't want to do this thing, but I didn't want to hurt that person's feelings. Like maybe it's an environment that you already know clearly does not align with who you want to be or what you want to do with your life. But because this person is like a close friend, family member, spouse, or partner, you decide to lie and say, yes, you want to go. So you put yourself in that environment to please them and to not hurt their feelings. But you hurt your own feelings in the process because you start to feel bad and you don't want to be in this space and you don't enjoy being in that environment. And you repeat this time after time with multiple people. And again, this leaves you no room to focus on you and what you desire out of life because you are constantly pleasing other people and don't know how to just say, no, I don't want to go. All right. Now, listen, I want you to know that all of this is common. Like we always look out for other people and other things first before we look out for ourselves. We are unconsciously trained to do life that way. Here's the thing, we can't always change our home or work environments, even if those environments are creating more of what we don't want. But there is a deliberate way to think differently about these environments so that you can produce different results in your life. It's always possible and you can change it if you want to. Now, I do offer up an opportunity to go deeper into this work with me. And what I share today are just some examples. Everyone's lives are different, and we get to explore your life on the complimentary consultations that I offer. However, here's what I'm offering for this month of July in 2025. I really want to help you understand how your thoughts create your results, help you really understand this concept so deeply, and help you understand why your lack of follow through keeps happening. So, for this month of July 2025, I am offering up 30-minute mini sessions with me. We can hop on a Zoom call and you can share one specific goal with me that you have yet to follow through on, but that you know would impact your life in such a positive way. We'll go over all your thoughts about why you believe you haven't achieved that goal. We'll explore how you feel about it, and I'll show you how you have created your current results in your life. We'll then be able to turn that around and see how you can create your results that you want to see with such simplicity. This call is completely free. I want you to see how much power that you have in creating what you want and see how much power you have in creating more of what you don't want. Either way, you're going to be creating, but just having that awareness can open up so much for you. You can book this call through my consultation link titled Holistic Life and Wellness Consult Zoom Call on my website at www www.royalrenewal.info. And if you ever need clarity on anything that I share on these audio casts, because I do like to keep them short and sweet, feel free to email me at info@rippedroyaltywellness.com, or you can message me on Instagram at your_holistic health coach. For now, I am so wishing you a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of ease, and a whole lot of love. And I will see you on episode number 7 next week. Peace.